Sorry, 10 minutes was over. This why it cut off. So that is 180. So let's calculate the interest for 9,380. So 1.8% times 9,380. So how much does it make? 1.8 times 9,380 divided by 100. So 168.84. 168.84 kina. So we write it down here, 168.84 kina. Repayment is the same amount. Then what is the closing balance? We will add this to, what kind of 6 is this? Okay. Then plus 9,380 minus 800. So that makes 8,748.84, 48.84 kina. Then that comes to as opening balance, 8,748.84. Then what is the what is the interest times 8,748.84? What is it? Times 1.8 divided by 100. We always round the numbers to two decimal place, if possible. Then that's going to be 157.48. 800 kina is the repayment. Then what is the balance? So the amount, so the result is 157.48. So we add the opening balance with the interest, 8,748.84 plus 157.48 minus 800. That makes 8,106.32. So that comes as the opening balance, 8,106.32. Then what is the interest that you are going to pay for that? 8,106.32. That makes times 1.8 divided by 100. It's equal to 145.91. So that is 145.91. 800 is the repayment. So let's calculate 8106.32 plus 145.91 minus 800. So that makes 7,452.23. The question is show amount owing after a year by using table. So we answer the first question. The answer will be here, 7,452.23 kina. So this is the final answer. Find the interest charge. How do we find interest charge? We add all the numbers on the interest column. So let's add them. 180 plus 168.84 plus 157.48 plus 145.91. So altogether it will be, the answer will be 652.23 kina. So that is the answer of B. All right, let's move on. Now it comes to annuities. So when we take a loan, there are two ways that you can use to answer the questions when you take a loan, and there is a repayment. The first is, as we did in the first two questions, we draw a table. And we try to find amount, remaining amount. However, for example, in the second question, instead of 1 year, if we ask here 10 years, show amount owing after 10 years. 10 years means you have altogether 40 quarters. How are you going to draw a table? It is, if they ask to use table, then we draw table. Otherwise, what we do, we use formula. What is the formula? A is equal to P times R to the power of N minus Q R to the power of N minus 1 over R minus 1. So what do these letters represent? A is the remaining amount owing. So the remaining amount at the end of the certain period of time. P is the capital debt you borrow. R is the rate. But be careful, R is equal to 1 plus R over 100. 1 plus the rate that is given to you. And N number of periods, and Q amount of repayment. So let's apply. There are three more formulas to remember about annuities. Total interest paid. This is when you pay the whole loan, when you pay the whole loan back, when you repay the loan, how much altogether you paid. That's the formula that we will use. Amount of repayment times, number of periods minus the capital. Interest paid after M payments. For example, you borrow the loan for 4 years, you have to repay it in 4 years, but the question is not in 4 years. What about calculate interest after 2 years? So before you complete the repayment of the whole loan, then it is Q times M. Q is the amount of repayment times how many periods, M payments, minus the capital that you borrow and the amount that it will accumulate after debt payment. Not accumulate, but the final amount after M payments. If the question is interest only loan, if there is only interest, they have to mention in the question that the loan you take interest only. If it is interest only question, then the repayment is equal to capital times your rate. Now, how are we going to use all these questions in all these formulas in the question setting? Let's look at question number 1. Daniela is taken out a loan for 10,000 kina. When we are dealing with annuities, what we have to do, that the first thing, what we have to do, we identify what is A, what is P, what is the question. So let's check it out. Daniela has taken out a loan for 10,000. And what does it mean? It means that P is equal to 10,000 kina. That's the capital that you borrow. She's making repayments 150 kina per month. This is very important, per month repayment. So that it means that Q is equal to 150 kina per month, and the interest rate is 6% per annum. Be careful. Your repayment is 150 kina per month. Your interest is per year. Therefore, I have to find monthly interest rate. So R is equal to, the capital R is equal to 1 plus, if 6% per annum, what is the monthly rate? How will I find it? I will divide 6 into 12 because in 1 year there are 12 months, divided by 100. So if you do the calculation here, 1 plus 6 over 12 over 100, that makes 1.005. So R is equal to 1.005. Then how many times I'm going to repay? What is my N? She's making in 3, calculate the amount she still owes on the loan after 3 years. I'm making repayment per month, and the question is after 3 years. So how many months are there in 3 years? 3 times 12 and will be equal to 36. So I will take all these values. And what is the question here? Calculate the amount she still owes. So the question is find A. So A is equal to P times, I'm applying the formula, substituting the values into the formula, into the main formula. P times R to the power of N, 1 times 1.005 to the power of N is 36, minus Q times 150 times R to the power of N, 1.005 over 36 minus 1 divided by 1.R minus 1. So we take the values and substitute in the formula. So I will calculate it directly. We type all these numbers in our calculator. 10,000 times 1.005 to the power of 36 minus 150, open bracket, 1.005 to the power of 36 minus 1, close the bracket, divided by, open the bracket again. Be careful when you are writing the denominator, again you have to write it in your calculator in the brackets. 1.005 minus 1, close the bracket, equal to, so the answer will be, you still owe, okay, let's do it again. There's some, okay, let me see. Okay, minus 1 divided by, oh, we made a mistake in our calculation. Let me calculate it again. 10,000 times 1.0